Guest is a prominent Florida Democrat voicing strong opposition to the moment that we just showed you during the president's address. He posted on X, quoting here, "To the Democrats in Congress who couldn't stand to applaud a 13-year-old boy who survived brain cancer, shame on you." Jason Pizzo is the Florida State Senate's minority leader. He joins me now. State Senator, great to have you on the show. I mean, if you want to expound on that a little bit, it really was. John Fetterman pointed to it. I mean, as a 13-year-old kid, what's the harm in standing up? It's not like it's a partisan issue. What's the harm in standing up and applauding?
None whatsoever. And Trace, thanks for having me on. It goes to show you that, especially from a national level, Democrats have really just lost their course, if they had any at all. Listen, my son reported to Parris Island to be a United States Marine last week, so it touches me to see the kid accepted to West Point. My other son wants to be a law enforcement officer, so capturing a terrorist who killed an American. And I'm a former prosecutor, so I don't know where they're going, but they're certainly not the grown-ups of the room.
Yeah. Meantime, there was a lot of attention being placed on something that the former VP candidate Tim Walz said when he was asked this question on CNN. Watch.
Sir, who do you think the leader of the Democratic Party is right now?
I think the voting public right now is what I would say. And I keep telling that. We're not going to have a charismatic leader ride in here and save us from this.
I mean, for all intents and purposes, he kind of got stumped. He didn't really have an answer. Do you have an answer to that? Do you know, is it readily obvious to you who the leader of the Democratic Party is right now?
No, none whatsoever. It should be the people, and the people should be deciding. But really, what sucks all of the oxygen out of the room, and we keep losing with the opportunity cost of actually getting things done. It's the loud fringes of both sides that really leaves us searching for something. So I'm the upper chamber minority leader. We're not really so progressive. We're a lot more practical. We have real issues here in Florida. So insofar as we're the third largest state with 23 million people, the leaders of the Democratic Party here in Florida are leadership in the minority caucuses.
Yeah, and you represent a big chunk of the population of Florida. It's interesting to note. Byron Donalds, of course, has announced that he is running for governor of Florida. You have hinted at the possibility of running. You term out in 2027. Have you thought more about this? Are you running for governor? Are you at least plotting to go in that direction?
Trace, I think I have to be. I'm 100% committed to Florida. This is supposed to be a part-time legislature, but it's like raising kids correctly. It's a full-time job. But I've had disasters and tragedies and opportunities. I represented Surfside in the collapse. We have flooding and infrastructure issues. My constituents want us to deal with property insurance and auto insurance, and why are their kids' SAT scores plummeting? They don't want socially divisive issues anymore, regardless of what side they're on. And so, I find myself, getting closer and closer.
Yeah, and you see Florida, it's leaning more red. How does a moderate Democrat even like yourself, win in Florida?
We have about 3.8 million registered NPAs. And while the Republicans have their voter registration advantage, really that shouldn't be taken for granted. Democrats had several 100,000 voter registration advantage, but we haven't had the governor's mansion in about 30 years. Here's the reality. You have Byron Donalds, who's announced, Casey DeSantis, who's hinting at also running, which would be like tacky nepotism to the nth degree. But really, they're sort of poaching themselves and they're cannibalizing themselves. There's a lot of infighting here with the Republican Party. They're as fractured as the partisanship and polarization is between Democrats and Republicans. And as they try to get further and further and further to the right to outright themselves, again, we have a bloated state government. We're maxed out on agencies. We spend tens and hundreds of millions of dollars on crap and not on what the people actually need. So, we beat our chest about how great we are with combating illegal immigration. Trace, I'm the one that filed the E-Verify bill a couple weeks ago to actually go after employers who hire illegal immigrants. Wasn't a Republican.
State Senator Jason Pizzo, if you decide to run, please let us know. We'd love to have you back on. Meantime, best of luck to you in your decision making, sir. We appreciate you coming on the show.
Thank you, Trace.